Welcome to Turn to Your Neighbor. This is the Christian Talk Show where we talk about music, the church, social media, and a whole lot more. My name is Cliff, and this is Tamika.
Hey, neighbors.
And this is Big Dre.
Yeah. Neighbors! BSG one time, BSG in the building, Black Santa Gang all day. Yo, this is our season. BSG, stand up. We in December, son. Black Santa Gang all month long. You know what it is. Black Santa Gang, stand up. Sorry, I got hype real quick. I just realized it was our time to shine, son.
December 1st.
Yep, it's here. We here.
We're here. This is officially Black Santa season.
Yeah, Black Santa's in the Black Santa season all the time. But you know what I'm saying? Right now, it's really our moment to shine. Yo, they already starting in the comments. I just got questions. Am I allowed to start with that?
Already starting in the. I mean, I feel like we're just we late. They home. The neighbors on time.
Yo, people already got shots for us. Mr. Anthony Reed. I don't know if I had the chance to meet Mr. Reed yet, sir. We were only 2 minutes late on the night. The credits were rolling. We were discussing behind the scenes. We were somewhat on time.
Yeah.
Also, Kristen says she tried that salted caramel crown.
But did you see how she did it?
Oh, she mixed it with crown apple.
But that's an actual recipe. You're supposed to do that. That's an actual recipe on the Crown website.
So you mix the salted with the apple.
Yeah. Now you're supposed to put ginger ale in it.
Okay, I'll drink that. I have all those ingredients right now in my garage. If you give me 5 minutes, I'll be back. Like
let me tell you, this house is wiped out already. But I do have 2 bags to send to.
Okay.
I saved my bag per your request. We wiped out.
You got wiped out?
Yeah, it's little bro came up Thanksgiving and he was like, "Wait, you got 2 different kinds of crown?"
Hey, we
whipped out the board games and we had a good time.
That's risky. What board game were you playing while enjoying the crown?
No, so we started off with Monopoly.
Okay.
Which I won.
Of course.
And then my little bro was like, "Okay, how about we, mix the crown in?" And we started playing Sorry, which was a classic in our house growing up.
Okay.
And he killed me.
Okay. He got aggressive on the Sorry.
Yes, it was very good.
We got Mac in the building. And let me say this. Hey, for those of you out there who prefer not to imbibe, who don't prefer to sip. You know what I'm saying? We understand that's your own personal beliefs. We're not calling anybody, any of the neighbors to sip. We don't want to drive anybody. If there's issues of alcoholism, we ain't driving nobody. That drink should be called the stomach pump. You're a hater. That sounds wonderful. I put a little sparkling cranberry and ginger from Trader Joe's in it just a splash. Okay. Hey, we gonna need to make a menu book of
Look, let me tell you, this is one of my giftings.
Okay. You're a mixologist.
Mixing these things, I'm a what do they call it when you do something but you don't really do it?
A savant?
No, not a savant.
Amateur?
That's yes. I'm an amateur mixologist.
Amateur mixologist. Okay.
I be mixing stuff. Because the real winner of my Thanksgiving feast was my punch.
So I was going to ask, how'd the punch go?
It was amazing.
We ain't saving playing nothing. You ain't giving me one.
It was amazing.
I could have came over for a cup. You just could have played the door.
It was good.
Are you releasing recipes? Or do you mix to taste? Are you just somebody who
mix the taste? But no, I work from a recipe. This is how I do it. Okay. I go to a recipe.
Okay.
And then I put my own spin on it.
Okay. You personally.
That way, yes.
Okay.
I copy and take all the credit. Okay. But I'm not straight copying. You can take the credit. If you changed one thing, you get to take the credit because that thing could have set it off.
It then becomes actually new thought. It's like new original. It's new intellectual property. At that point, I got way too deep real quick. Can I say something real quick? I'm going to say it in any case. Mac made a blasphemous comment that I didn't see until after last show. I don't know if we discussed it live, in which he said throw away all stuffing.
We talked about it.
We did. Did I call him a fool on the air?
We condemned him.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure I called him a fool live. And I'm going to follow up again with calling him a fool. I just want that to be as clear as possible.
Okay.
You can freeze it. You're supposed to like wrap it in individual. You're not supposed to put the whole big thing. You're supposed to like break it up, from what I understand, to really keep it fresh.
Yo, my workmate gave me her recipe for stuffing balls. It sounded absolutely amazing. Yeah. Let that marinate on your mind a little bit. A little ball of stuffing, depending upon how, it sounded real right.
We had so much food because I guess I felt like I was cooking for 10 people instead of just and of course my little kid doesn't eat any of this stuff. So I'm just done. I'm done with stuffing. I'm done with, I don't like, y'all holler at me next year. Like that, I'm good on all that stuff because I've just had too much.
People only have stuff in between like Thanksgiving and Christmas. And December 27th.
I really did take my kids to Subway tonight. We got a whole refrigerator of leftovers. And my wife,
you can save it for Christmas or New Year's. Like don't take it into 2021. Oh, yeah. But like save it for if you're like, you know what, I don't have to make this whole thing over again. I felt really bad about wasting food this year though.
You didn't even give me a call. You didn't even offer.
But we're all in the same position. We all got too much food.
Yeah, we do. I'm about to make some mac and cheese, some fried mac and cheese balls though. I'm gonna get that. My wife made some seafood mac and cheese. Oh, first of all,
now that's the thing to call people over for.
That joint hits, and that's one of those things. We need to have a segment about this. It's what foods hit better the day after, because there are some foods that are good the day of, but when they really set up and marinate together, I believe like almost all types of pasta hit better the day after,
depending on how you reheat it though.
Okay, give me some.
It's better to reheat everything in the oven,
right,
than it is to zap it.
I
when
agree.
You put it in the microwave, it does different things to it. If you reheat it in the oven,
right, get that crisp.
It's magical.
Yes, or toaster oven for you people out there as well.
Or toaster oven.
Lasagna, yes, that's another one that sets up perfectly. Jerk chicken and jollof rice. Let that sauce really get into the rice. Come on, let it marinate.
Yeah.
So Derek's wife's out here making turkey enchiladas.
All right now.
And then he says cocaine. Okay, that's what we're doing here tonight on the Gospel Show. That's what's happening right now. Richard, give me fried egg and honey baked ham on a bagel for breakfast. Amen, brother. Amen. You know,
I like that.
This is the only time of year I really eat ham like that. Like,
yeah,
and I got to be careful with it because something about ham, it messes my system up, and I straight to the toilet. Yeah, but I love it though. It's good to me. We fried up Vicky fried up some stuffing balls the other day.
Oh wow!
Yep,
stuffing balls. I was just like, this is way too much food because I've been trying to do much better in 2020. I couldn't eat that.
You weren't prepped. Your stomach wasn't ready. You weren't.
It wasn't. It was like, girl, huh?
Disappointing. You had a disappointing performance. Let's be honest. You had.
I think because you know how they say when you get older,
right?
You can't eat everything you see. I think, I'm getting a little older, so I can't eat.
It's okay. Cliff,
Cliff would like to talk about actual things.
I apologize, brother.
He doesn't want to have a post Thanksgiving.
I mean, nothing is more exciting than a Christian show talking about how to mix and serve drinks.
Hey, man, I want Kristen on the air.
That's what everybody's here for.
Kristen obviously has the heat for us, and so that's all I can say. Yo, I love when your boy Richard tries to get you involved. And he throws out the Lakers real quick. He does it like every other show. Because he can tell when you have drifted all the way out.
Right.
But we're back, brother. Guide us, brother. Guide us.
As kids, all we used to do was talk about basketball. So
okay.
That's why. But yeah, the Lakers,
if y'all don't follow Mac on social media, go ahead and do it. My man Mac, the brother put together a spread. I will tell you that. He brined that turkey. It happened. And that brother put together some things. At least what I saw. Okay, I'm done.
It's all right. Neighbors, do me a favor and please share this right now because you don't have to be ashamed since we already got the Thanksgiving talk out the way and the liquor and all the other kind of stuff. So do me a favor, share, make sure you like it, hit the like button, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook. Hook us up with a like and share right now. We appreciate all the neighbors that are hanging with us today.
Mm-hmm.
Are y'all good? Did y'all get the Thanksgiving aftermath out of your system?
I'm good, brother. I'm good. Once again, welcome to the Black Santa Gang. Hey, if you're looking to join the Black Santa Gang, it's real easy. All you got to do is put a couple Black Santas inside your comment, hashtag BSG, and then we can initiate you. Boom, you're part of the Black Santa Gang.
It's that easy.
It's that easy. We're accepting all.
Starting cults.
Wow.
Cults.
Wow. Okay.
Whole gangs.
Whole Black Santa Gang in the building all day.
Gangs.
You know what's very interesting though? I would never let my daughters really believe in Santa like that.
Agreed.
I don't allow it. Like, no, Santa ain't had nothing to do with this. Nope, no such thing. We put in on this. And then I let my kids go to school. I think my nephew may have gotten in trouble one time for ruining other kids' Christmas. Like, because
that's CJ. I feel like this gets taken way too far. Like on the Hallmark channels, it's like, okay, I feel like it's a fun thing. Like the Tooth Fairy. My parents did the whole Tooth Fairy dance with me growing up.
Okay.
I didn't think that there was an actual Tooth Fairy. Like, I feel like you gotta have that extra bit of good sense. Where it's fun, like Barney or Big Bird or Paw Patrol. Like, it's a fun idea.
Whoa!
You have fun with it, but it's not real.
What you saying about Big Bird? Big Bird was real. Let's not disrespect. You see, okay, let's not disrespect. Okay. Let's be careful about what we say about Sesame Street. Me and Grout. Grover, my guy Grover, Bert and Ernie, we all right. See, it's always one step too far. Go ahead, Cliff. She's going too far.
How about we just move on now and do a show?
We're ready, brother. We're ready.
It's okay. I had to take care of some things behind the scenes anyway. So this is one time when the randomness was appreciated. All right, so first thing I want to talk about, one of the big stories this week was there was a gospel artist. His name is Darrel Walls. He's part of the Walls group. There was a video that was leaked online of this brother kissing another man.
Mm-hmm.
Now, just so the neighbors understand, we're going to have a conversation about this, but we are not here to have a theological exploration of the LGBT community. Right. That's for another group of people, another show. Mm-hmm. The interesting thing about this was that, and just so you know, the video was leaked online. He did not leak it. He shared it with some of his friends, and then his friends then shared it with the world, basically. Somebody from his friend group shared it with the world. The interesting thing is that, and the reason why I want to have this discussion, because I think that the mothers and fathers of our churches, in particularly Black churches, because that's what I know. I don't think over the years while it has gotten better, I don't think it's come from them. But over the years, we have not done a good job of equipping our people how to handle and interact with, and basically how to love someone who identifies is a member of the LGBT community, or someone who is same gender loving. Now, for the sake of this argument, just so y'all know and the neighbors know, I understand that there is a big umbrella in the LGBT community and a lot of letters that typically follow LGBT. But so we're not trying to stumble over ourselves with letters. We're just going to say LGBT or same gender loving. And those of you who are passionate about that, you'll have to excuse us for today because we don't want to bog down the discussion with alphabets. So I just want to know if y'all had any thoughts about that.
First of all, I think one of the most important points here is it Darrel or Darrel?
I know.
Because I've been wondering since the beginning. Is it Darrel or Darrel? You know, black folks, we make
Darrel Walls. I feel like
I thought it was Darrel.
Well,
I don't know.
Whatever, Darrel or Darrell. Brother Walls.
Brother Walls. I hope we as in the gospel community, the black church community, do a much better job with this than we did with Tone.
Exactly.
And we were discussing this before the show. Some of us are old enough to remember Tone, and some of us are not. Tamika.
I didn't say I didn't remember Tone. I said I didn't remember why he sort of disappeared, it seemed, from like mainstream gospel. But
Tone, who is now B Slade, called himself
yes, he is now B Slade.
Yes.
I think he put out his better music under Tone, the moniker of Tone, but that's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
When he came out as gay, the community they shut him down. They canceled him
immediately. The gospel music community completely cut him off. Yes, and the church community.
I'm not going to get into how incredibly hypocritical this is on a multitude of levels.
Yeah,
because to act like the members of the LGBTQ community have not been integral into the development of the black church, especially the black music. The black church music, is ridiculous.
Yes,
but I'm gonna leave that alone. You're not gonna give me hype off that tonight. But I hope in this day and age, that true love is extended towards him, and that he is pulled in, and that and somebody put it in here. You didn't know beforehand that what his preferences were, and we still actually don't know what his preferences were because he hasn't come out and spoken on.
We just saw a video.
We just saw a video. We don't know what his preferences are.
Yeah,
but that there is nobody who can say that this brother is not oily.
That's right.
He has all the oils. His vocals are nasty, and he ministers. After that, mind your business.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate that that Tone did not receive the love that it appears that Darrell is receiving now. And I think I don't know how Tony's situation would have turned out differently because at the time Tony was a pastor and a gospel artist. So I mean, and I think he's a PAW pastor. So it's kind of hard to be openly gay PAW pastor because that's frowned upon in that denomination. So he probably still wouldn't be a pastor, but I think Tone probably would have benefited from more love, especially from his peers. I think some of his peers even just cut him off at the time. And it's nice to see that Darrell is receiving love from artists in the gospel community, from fans. Again, I don't know what his preference is or what lifestyle he chooses to lead or what lifestyle he feels is him he identifies with, let me say. And I want to make sure we're clear. I don't think none of us are saying that. I think any church has the right to have rules regarding who can or cannot serve in that church is from a ministry perspective. I think as a church, you reserve that right. So I'm not saying he should be able to get up at anybody's pulpit at any time or whatever. I think each church makes their own decision. But what I am saying is we should not have a habit of just immediately quote unquote canceling somebody because they identify as something that we might believe is contrary to scripture. That's not a reason to cancel them. That's a reason to love them even the more.
Tamika, we're doing a lot of talking. Go ahead.
I would say that if nothing else, 2020 has showed us who we really are. When you are faced with all kinds of unexpected disruptions, challenges, just, scenarios that are put into your path that, you didn't think you would be confronting or faced with, you find out who you really are. And in a lot of ways, we are looking at, and we talked about this months ago, potentially a Black church in crisis. As far as I'm concerned, nobody has the time to be policing what other people do when what they're doing is not breaking the law and it's not impacting you. And when it comes to his professionalism, I've seen the Walls group live a couple of times. They're incredibly, they come, they do the work, which is more than we can say for some artists in this community that are actually beloved and embraced, who tend to be very messy and go very diva style and all that kind of thing. So I think let's focus on the artistry. Let's focus on what he has shown himself to be and not allow what someone else did to overshadow his own narrative. He gets to tell his story. What I am really shook by is the fact that one of his so-called friends, or maybe the other person in the video, maybe it was one of their friends, I don't know, somebody in their close social circle would share this. That's a big issue. And so if nothing else, Brother Walls has seen who that person is. And I hope that he's dealing with that and is, basically writing some people off and not taking this mess into 2020, because that's foul. Whether or not, you don't get to control somebody else's narrative like that, whether they're a private citizen or have a public profile. But especially when somebody has a public profile, that's out of order, period.
I truly do pray for him during this time. Because so much of his identity is wrapped up, well, at least from the outside, it appears that it's just wrapped up in music, more music, gospel music, and in the church. And so I really do pray, and knowing how the Black church can be specifically, I really do pray that he's feeling loved and that people are uplifting him. Those that matter to him are uplifting him right now, because that could be a thing that's detrimental to him, obviously mentally, emotionally, obviously spiritually as well. So praying for him and praying that he is feeling loved right now is the major key.
And I want to be clear, none of us are saying to ignore sin. Like, you shouldn't, we're not saying that if you believe what he's doing is a sin, nobody is saying that you should ignore it. But I think what we are saying is, you as believers, we're supposed to love people in spite of their sin. We're supposed to love people through their sin. We're supposed to love people when they're sinning and when they're not sinning, or because we all sin in some way. We're supposed to continue to love people. No one sin. I'm just going to say, we should be loving people regardless.
We should be loving people regardless
of what they do.
We should just be loving people because they're people. Like, what's interesting, and somebody brought it up in here. We know a lot of these folks is out. A lot of these other dudes are I'm gonna say, they out here holding around heterosexually.
Yeah,
a lot of these artists, and they ain't getting no type of slack. And then with people are still buying albums and still going to concert. Well, post and pre-Rona. But yeah, hey, brother, I'll pray with him. I still listen to his music. The boy can still sing. Some of my favorite videos on YouTube in the world are the summer that he would hit. The Walls group was on tour with Ty Tribbett, and he would repeatedly go out on stage, and Ty would have him sing, and Ty would literally just be feeding him, and he would just sing and minister. The boy is tough. He is one of the toughest vocalists in this game, and his ministry is undeniable. I shouldn't call him a boy. He's 30-something-year-old man. So the man is good at what he does. So.
Yeah, I'm far more concerned with a video I recently saw of Paula White saying that Black Lives Matter is a terrorist organization than I am about anything that Brother Walls might have been doing on a video. I'm far more concerned about that. And the people who would be persuaded
at what
in that
point
direction.
At what point is it some of these louder, more prominent people's job to say Paula White's a problem?
That would have been when she went in and took Zachary Timms' church.
Okay, so we're past that point.
Yeah,
way past.
Okay.
Talk about somebody who should have been canceled a long time ago, or at least publicly rebuked.
At least. But I'm not going to sidetrack us. Cliff, I know we got more stuff.
It's all right.
Playing for
so, yeah, continue to pray for the brother.
Whether it be Darrel or Darrel.
Yeah.
Either which one.
Both pray for both of them.
Pray for both.
God knows his name.
And the Walls family.
God knows.
So I got video here of there is this preacher who was preaching one of outdoor services.
Okay.
I'm not sure if they doing it just because they social distancing or whatever. But this brother's preaching outside, and his church is outside. And while he's preaching, he gets arrested because someone calls the police because it's too loud. And I had to edit the video. So what you're not going to see is you're going to see him getting arrested. But before that, the police came up to him. It came up to the deacons, asked them to be quiet, quiet it down. They said no. So what you're going to see is basically the police actually taking action on this brother, this preacher who decided he was going to continue preaching in spite of. And this is an American video. This is not Africa. For those of you who are,
thank you, Cliff. I appreciate it.
So I want y'all to take a look at this brother getting arrested.
Jesus. Oh God, Jesus, oh God,
So I don't know if you heard, but the brother, when the police started approaching him, the brother said, "Take me to jail. I'm ready to go." And then the police proceeded to take the brother to
oblige
jail.
Him.
Yes. And you didn't. After the police had taken him, they proceeded to get on the mic and still do more yelling. Somebody else grabbed the mic and continued to yell some more. But yeah.
So the problem is, I think this is clearly, it looks like a very residential area.
Mm-hmm.
And so what people don't be knowing when they get the call, to just set up shop in their backyard is that you need permits and stuff to do these things. You can't just set up shop. Okay. We are not in Nazareth. Like it's a new day. It's 2020. You got to have this stuff organized. And so hopefully this is a warning, but this is traumatic. Yeah. This video, if I was a kid watching the man of God be hauled away and handled like that by the cops, which, that was to me unnecessary roughness. It was inappropriate. He should have, this could have been handled a different way, I think, on their part. And it's still two white cops, from what I can tell, arresting a black man for preaching. Yeah. Now, yes, he's preaching, probably doesn't have a permit, making too much noise, etc. But he's preaching.
They tried to do this the same way. They tried to ask him to quiet it down, and he didn't want to do that.
Wait, I got a couple questions. I couldn't see it. Oh, my man does have his gun pulled. Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. That third cop
officer with a gun out.
Yeah.
Yo, this
It's
is
too much.
it. The gun was unnecessary. This could have been handled a couple different ways. Hey, people, know your law, know your local community laws. If you need a sound permit, you need a permit. If my man came up to you and asked you just to turn it down, he didn't even try to cancel you. If he just asked you to turn it down, at some point in time, it's not about persecution. It's just about, okay, I'm gonna just turn it down. If I'm sitting in a neighborhood, I'm gonna just turn it down. And like, you can give your full sermon at another time at your highest levels. Like we could have done that. And then when he decide, why, you can't bow up, man. Like, I wouldn't have bowed up at this point. Like, I don't know what he was looking to prove in that moment by bowing up and struggling with them, and he going to just make it extra.
Because it could have ended really bad. Like, this could have gone way left really quick, and it would have been another tragedy. So this is
brother, have you been watching the news? Why are you resistant right now?
And plus, you got responsibilities to the people that are there.
Right.
Once that dude pulls the gun out, things get real. Is that a gun or is that spray? Either which way, man, you got to think about the other people that are there, and you don't want to mess around with them. They're children, they're babies. So,
it sounds like people are crying. It's a very traumatic thing that didn't have to be. And I would have hoped that people would have had the sense to either somebody say, look, it's not worth it. Or if the people get up and disperse, now I will say that, like many campuses, the place where I work has somebody who gets on a bullhorn and says all kinds of stuff. Now, I wonder how come that person gets to do that. And some of the stuff they're saying is really offensive, by the way. But so anyway, I wonder what the different, because this is, from what I understand, these are usually white people who do this, who get on sort of the bullhorns and tell everybody they're going to hell as they walk by and trying to go about their business.
In this situation, it was because of noise complaints. So the police didn't just show up and say, we want to cause some trouble with these black people. People called and complained about the noise. And the brother's name is Pastor Ronnie Upshaw. And so when the police came, they approached two of the deacons from the church and asked them to quiet down. The deacons refused. That's when the cop went and got the noise ordinance and showed it to him, and they still refused. And then he's like, all right, then you got to come with me. So they gave him multiple times to just quiet it down, but they refused every time.
Right. Kristen knows I'm talking about the Willard preacher. I was just saying, like, if they arrested him there, he had to be actually breaking a law, right? And so, but perhaps it's because that's the campus is public property. This is like residential.
That's what they say.
But nobody calls to complain about the Willard preacher.
I think they do. Actually, the students do.
I was gonna say,
they do complain. It is just the fact that he's not interrupting actual classes. Like, he doesn't, and so as long as he doesn't actually interrupt classes, because some of the things that he has said before, they are definitely, people are constantly complaining about him. And the word that comes back is, because the public space, he's allowed to be there.
Some of the things he said, but not his volume.
Right.
Yeah, this complaint is
different in volume.
This complaint about the volume. That's the difference.
Right. And that was the difference. But hey, man, I hope they really need to check on those kids and some of the adults. If you listen to it, some of them adults is a little fried as well. Here's my question though: when does it stop being about Jesus and start being about you? Because the second you start wrestling with them, what did that have to do with God? Like that at that moment.
Say when he set up shop in his backyard. It was about
somebody's backyard.
He needs to get on YouTube in his garage, like all these other people getting a call in 2020.
Mac, what we're not going to do is blame the deacons for this. Mac has said, so the deacons, as a former deacon, I'm gonna sit here and say we not going to blame
shut
the
it
deacons.
down. The deacons could have been like, all right, okay, we're gonna unplug this. The deacons actually should have been like, yo, we need a permit.
They are responsible.
We could just turn this down just a little bit. But yeah, it's interesting. I hope everybody's okay. Most definitely.
Yeah.
All right. So I want to show you, there are members of our faith.
Okay.
Who just will not let this election go.
Okay. Where are we? Okay.
They are still upset about the results.
Oh,
So
okay.
I want to show you a video from this is Pastor George Pearson's. He is the son-in-law of Kenneth Copeland.
Okay.
You know, the guy who blew on COVID-19. We showed that video a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Couple months ago. Yeah. So he's upset about the whole recount and how that went. So I want to show y'all this demonstration that he did to express his displeasure with how the recount went.
We about to do some stuff, ain't we, Cliff? Let's see.
No, I'm just showing you a video.
I'm
man.
nervous.
I'm just showing you a video. So
I'm not.
What are
right,
we
so
about to do?
check this out.
Of the people and the ballots. And what my eye was drawn to was the tables.
Just wait for it.
The tables. And what the Lord started to talk to me about was he went through and he overturned the tables. What are on those tables? Ballots. Ballots. And what I could see was he was walking up and down those aisles, and he started turning over the tables. The tables are being turned over. Those tables are being turned over. The tables are being turned over. And he came to a table and he turned it over. Glory to the Lord.
No, not the God, not the Lord.
So he kind of uses the analogy of what's going on in this election to the story in the Bible where they're gambling in the cathedral and Jesus flips over tables.
Right.
Yeah.
Say that, but you said that too quick, Cliff. Please say the real story. Jesus was upset not about an election.
Because they were gambling in his house, in the house of God. And basically, he said, my house should be a house of prayer. So Jesus got upset, flipped over some tables. And so he is making the analogy in some way to what's going on with the election.
You know what's appalling about this?
Talk to me.
At this point, it's about basic Bible literacy.
Right.
In terms of the congregations or the followers or whatever audience these people have left.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of the ministers, preachers themselves, this is straight up misappropriating the word of God. And for what? For what? This is serious.
I'm sorry, real quick.
Hilarious.
Richard's comment, why can't they hold this L?
Just hold the L. You lost. It's an L. Just take it.
Which, by the way, since Election Day, Trump has raised over $100 million.
Yep. Uh-huh. I saw 150.
So this type of these messages are gaining traction. They're a form of currency.
They are.
I mean, this is and that's what we need to look at this as. People are misappropriating, misusing, abusing the holy word of God. And people are writing checks to Trump.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, people are still dying.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, there are people who are still struggling to make ends meet.
That's the part I'm worried about.
Still going hungry. All of this is happening at the same time. Why are you talking about this when there are so many other things to be talking about? And what is the purpose at this point of the pulpit?
I don't know.
What
you think?
Couple questions here. First of all, who had to clean that up? Because there's a lot of papers being thrown around there. I bet it came on the deacons again.
Yeah,
see, that's why.
As someone who has made a mess during sermons, their deacons.
See, you one of them. The deacons had to clean that. That's a shame. What is disappointing to me is something Tamika touched upon. When I saw the number this morning, I saw it was 150 million that he erased thus far. It is the point that concerns me the most. It's not all rich people giving this money.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who are really being economically impacted during these times, and they're giving some of their last dollars to this.
Yeah.
And is the disappointment in the church. It's a deep-seated disappointment in the church that we are feeding into this, and people are doing things because some folks decided to mix what they call religion or God's will with this political election.
Yes. Yeah.
Now they have to straighten everything out and make it seem like it wasn't them hearing God wrong, or they weren't just speaking heretically. Basically, they won't.
Yeah. So while Dre gets his connection together, and when I initially mentioned this, I said that they were gambling in the church. They weren't gambling; they were buying and selling in the Bible. The Bible story
turned it into a marketplace.
Yeah, turned into a marketplace.
Yeah.
I'm back, but yeah, it hurts. It just hurts that we're having to do this, and that people are spending good money on this, and they're giving their all. And here's the larger issue, man. This isn't going to stop now. This can be causing generational divisions inside the church.
Yeah.
That we are not going to understand the full impact of for years.
People are learning this behavior.
It's tough.
I don't know about y'all, but I never had a pastor that mentioned anything about an election other than go ahead and vote and pray for the president or pray for the candidates. That's it. Like, I've never had a pastor mention anything about the election, the results, other than vote and pray for both parties. That's about it. And
that's all they were supposed to do, because it was understood that there should be a division between church and state, and you could really mess up your tax status if you were found guilty of doing too much, entangling too much with the politics of it all. But Trump has actually, under his administration, he actually started to pull back some of those barriers. And, we all know that he went to churches, including Black churches, when he was campaigning and all that. So that was, I remember, a big point. Yep. And some of the things that certain, white evangelist preacher brand folks have said in support of Trump is, oh, well, he is actually for religious freedom, and he's for sort of taking some of these boundaries or barriers off of the church. So it's all getting mixed up. What it makes me think of, Cliff, to your point, is like, what's been happening in these churches for like the last 20 years? Yeah. These people couldn't just all of a sudden take a hard left to this, or a hard right, as it is, to become this. They have been practicing a very dangerous, slippery political theology for decades, I would imagine, to get to this point and actually still have people following them.
Yeah. Derek's quoting Tony Evans and said, "Mist in the pulpit creates fog in the pew." It's very true. Very true. All right. We're going to move on, because we could be here all day talking about them and they crazy antics. So this came up many weeks ago, but we never got a chance to talk about it. Kanye West. I know how you just love to talk about Kanye, Dre. Kanye, he talked about Sunday service. Did y'all know Kanye spent $50 million on the Sunday services and the Sunday service choirs?
How much you make?
I didn't say how much he made.
50.
He spent $50 million into his Sunday. He sold. The article says he sold $50 million into his Sunday services. And all he says is God has blessed him greatly for it. And however you want to say, kind of quantify blessing.
Yeah.
And so, in addition to that, Kanye also has plans to create a gospel university.
Nope.
And I got a video.
But it's gospel music.
Gospel music,
right?
Gospel music like university, training ground, academy, however you want to define it. So I got a video of him talking about it. I want you and the neighbors to check it out.
The songs that we're doing at Sunday service is basically my book of hymns for the future gospel university that I'm creating, where I've envisioned and will manifest a 200,000 seat stadium, circular, with 100,000 gospel singers, and people will go to this university and they will train the way, you know, a Russian Olympic swimmer, you know, I picture like they would be in the pool 6 days a week, at least, if not 7 days. But for people who sing for the church, or, because it's a tide, it's pro bono, it's all this, like, people don't practice that as much as we practice going to studio to rap, or practice playing basketball if we're in the NBA. So it's making the NBA, so to say, the Coliseum for God. And what that, have you like heard like soccer chants, and like, and just like 60,000 person. So I envision that for God, 100,000 people, sometimes singing in harmony, sometimes in unison. Glory, glory, oh God Almighty, we lift our hands and give you praise. Glory, glory, oh God Almighty, we lift our hands and give you praise. Glory. But picture 100,000 people in unison, and that feeling, what that would do for our spirits, our souls. It's healing. The songs.
So Kanye wants to bring a level of excellence to gospel music. What y'all think about that?
Joe Rogan, by the way, who's interviewing him, has no idea what he's talking about.
No idea.
He's like,
yeah.
Okay.
No idea.
He's so lost.
Hey.
Yo, here's the thing though. See, I'm gonna get roasted for this. Some of his ideas surrounding excellence inside of the church, even musically, are not wrong.
Make a lot of sense, because
they make a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
And so, two, the man does produce good sounding gospel music.
Okay.
He does. I should take that back because I'm very particular about that term. He produces good sounding music through which some of the thematic principles happen to be things that are traditionally associated with the church. I'm very particular about the term gospel music, because if the spirit is not there, I don't think it's gospel music.
Okay.
And so I get real particular about, if we ever get into that Netflix show, I'll talk about that too. Just because you're singing the word God, and it doesn't mean you're singing gospel music. So he's not wrong. Yeah, I know, Tamika, I just hit, that was a wild one. He's not wrong, but and this is the most sane I've heard him sound in a while, which is scary. I love the concept. I would just never trust him to be the one executing it.
Agreed.
In the church, spirit and intention are important. Like, what is your intention behind it? Is it God? Is it God led? And this is my personal bias, I will never trust anything he's doing as God led.
What makes you think that it's not God led?
It's Kanye. It's Kanye who's married to Kim, who's related to the mother. They do nothing.
But
what's her name? What's her name?
Chris.
In his defense, slightly, he had his spiritual awakening after he got married.
Yeah, you believe the spiritual awakening,
right?
I never have.
If you believe, well, okay, if a
Right.
person believes he had a spiritual awakening,
Right.
and from what I understand, this happened after he got married. So it's not like
Mhm.
he was like this quote unquote holy roller and then
Right.
married Kim Kardashian. No, he was married and then like his mind was renewed, right? Right. So
She was at the services
she was there.
singing.
Do you remember when we had that show and he was selling church socks and they were socks that said the word church on them as part of his early services? You remember that clip?
I remember he had the whole merchandise booth. Yeah.
Everything he does is about $1.
Oh.
The same way we look at some of these prosperity preachers with the side eye.
But,
I'm not giving Kanye any passes.
But he's not
period.
doing. But he's not doing nothing that a lot of these preachers aren't already doing.
And you're assuming I trust these jokers either.
Charging $35 for a CD of a message. Charging $25 for anointing oil or miracle water.
And I agree. Those are some suckers too. I don't trust those guys either. Like, is it God led? Like, it's not just him.
But
it's not just him.
But his overall idea of this university,
right,
not that far off.
Well, but who's gonna pay to go to this? Like, this is my thing.
A lot of people.
So I don't think that the problem isn't that other people haven't had this idea, right? So, oh, by the way, this is an important tangent. So it made me think about Kirk Franklin, right? So Kirk Franklin, Donald Lawrence, Richard Smallwood, Kurt Carr, like we have these greats, John P. Key, right? Like we have these people who know how to coordinate, direct, acquire, who are brilliant composers and writers and producers, and who know how to bring the voices together. By the way, did y'all know that John Gray was used to sing for Kirk Franklin? So it's hilarious. If you look up the "Do You Want a Revolution" video, John Gray is in that video, but it's worth the
he's not a terrible singer. I can see it.
He's not, but it's a lot of he's very his aesthetic is very it's very expressive. So. But my thing is, it's not that people don't have it's not that this talent doesn't already exist in gospel music. And I believe that if you're going to be a choir like the Georgia Mass Choir or the Brooklyn Tab Choir, whatever, these choirs that actually are recording artists as well, or recording groups, they've already been trained in excellence. The average person who's a volunteer praise team member at a church, the church isn't even paying them. So why would they pay to send them to Kanye West Gospel Music University? Why wouldn't they? Because I know that other, directors and people in the music business do these workshops and stuff. Why wouldn't they pay to have like a workshop or something like that? So I don't think this is like a novel idea. One, I also think that the recording business, the enterprise around gospel music as a product is separate from somebody volunteering to sing in their church choir or praise team. These are two separate things. One, to me, requires heart over other things and being able to somewhat carry a note. The other requires less heart, more it's more about the technique.
Okay. I see you. I feel you.
So we know that God will use the person that you least expect, right? And so God finally has someone. Like, go with me here. God finally has someone who has $50 million.
Right.
To put towards the advancement of the kingdom, right? Like, what gospel artist is to come out their pocket with $50 million and still be okay after that, like by themselves? You know what I mean? So finally, like, if this is spirit led, like, so God finally has someone with the name recognition and the financial wherewithal to pull something like this off. And who would not want to to attend any university where because Kanye is not going to have just any old body as teachers or professors. Like, who would not want to attend where you get probably the best, the top of the line instructors?
Are they going to have to pay for this?
We don't know the concepts. We're doing a lot of assuming.
People are paying for less.
Here, that's true. They pay for razor training.
People razor coaching. And even these quote unquote workshops.
Can you get Derek's thing on the screen before it goes away real quick?
Good ideas.
Yeah.
So Derek says, "Good ideas ain't always God ideas."
And
that's a tricky statement too.
Yeah, I honestly I agree. I understand what you're saying, Cliff. My thing about it is, from what everything he's demonstrated in the public eye over the years, he is not going to ever be someone who's going to sit back, just have the idea, fund it, and then step away. So he's going to have to be in charge of it in the end. And ministry things run oftentimes from top down. And so I don't trust I don't trust the ministry.
Hey, I'm just saying,
I just don't trust it.
I'm not saying this is 100% legit, right? But
Right.
There's definitely people will go. Like, if he builds this thing, people will go. Imagine being in a songwriting class with Donald Lawrence,
Right?
In directing class with Ricky Dillard, like for a semester. So for like 6 to 12 weeks, Ricky Dillard is teaching you the ins and outs of gospel directing. And Israel Houghton is teaching you worship leading, worship guitar, and all that other kind of stuff. Like, people, if he gets the right people like this, it's gonna be full.
Yo, I'm sorry, Donna Abdul is hilarious. That one threw me off there. It's true. We're gonna have to factor this in at some point. Go ahead, put it up. Don't be afraid of it. Put that sucker up there.
Oh, I'm sorry, wrong one. Donna says, why
you keep on
because I click and the thing scrolls. Y'all forgetting that Kanye is mental imbalanced. What if his workshops will have naked tambourine lessons?
Yo, I'm telling you, there are things you have to think of. And somebody else said they were like, "No, I'm good. I'm gonna wait for the fruit."
Yeah,
it's like his concept. It's like the COVID vaccine. Like, it sounds real good. I'm gonna wait for round 2.
It's nothing like the COVID.
I
will take the COVID vaccine before
I will wait for round 2.
You're talking about the hesitancy and just waiting to see.
I'm gonna wait for round 2 when y'all jokers.
Like our man Darnell said, I'm gonna wait for the fruit, waiting to see what comes of this.
Let me see who gets what first before
it's real shaky right now. The concept. I'm not really sure I don't really know what the point is. Is he trying to train people to be artists? Is he trying to train people to lead their choirs at their neighborhood churches, their local church? Like, what? I don't know what the.
Maybe it's whatever you want to do with your training, like a real school. Like, you go to school, like you go to a college, and we all have different career aspirations. Then what we're going to do? We all receiving the same education, but we take it and we do different things with it. This will probably be that same premise.
So are we saying that there is no university where you can go, or college where you can go learn these skills, like where you can learn gospel? Like, you can't do this at Howard?
There are.
Donald Lawrence used to teach a class in gospel music at some school in the South. I forgot the name of the school, but a whole university dedicated to just gospel music.
Okay, a whole university academy. Yes, that's a different.
Like a Juilliard of gospel music. Like, I don't think that exists. And so that's basically what he's doing. He's creating Juilliard as a music school, right? Yeah, Juilliard of gospel music.
He should have had you sell it, Cliff. This will be the Juilliard of gospel. Gotcha. Holla at me with the liturgical dance class.
The second Paula White pops up, you gonna know what it is, because Paula will find her way over there. Because for some reason, I ain't gonna say that. I'm not allowed to say that. For some reason, Paula and black powerful male leaders in the church, she just keeps popping up. I'm not gonna put that out there. But Paula just keeps popping up. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna put that there and let y'all marinate on it.
All right. So that's all I got. Do you have a rant for the people, brother?
I don't have a rant for the people. I'm gonna be honest with the people. I had a humbling moment today. And so every now and then it reminds me, like, you gotta get your spirit right because you gotta check yourself. Today it got real cold for the first time really up here in state colleges, and the temperature really dropped and it stayed cold the whole time. One of the things that often happens the first time it gets real cold is all of a sudden you realize your tires need some air. And so I'm driving and I see these lines of people. I went to go get gas. I see lines of people at the sheets. I'm like, look at these suckers. They don't take care of their car. Look at that. They just got need air in their tires. You ain't even taking care of your vehicle. I went and got my gas, went and took my daughter somewhere. I backed into a parking space. All of a sudden, my dash lit up. Talking about, hey, light sensor playing air. They like front tire, front left tire, front right tire, rear left tire, low. I'm supposed to be at 35. It's at 20. It's at 27. I said, oh, okay. Humbled immediately. So I had to take my behind out there into that freezing cold while they were supposed to be in practice doing what they're doing. I'm out there freezing my behind off, I'm like, this is what I deserve. And the whole time as I'm holding the community property known as that air pump, I'm thinking, this ain't nothing but COVID I'm touching right now. Do you know how many
people? Did you have on gloves?
I didn't. I was just out there just raw, just touching raw stuff. Just ungloved.
I hope you just anointed that hand. That 99.9% alcohol. You just should have took rubbing alcohol and
just the good stuff. Just
good Lord.
two rounds of it. So I'm just telling folks, hey man, you gotta be humble sometimes. Just remember your humility, because God will it was literally like 20 minutes. And then my whole dashboard lit clean up. What's funny is that has never gone off in my car over the entirety of the time, 5-6 years I've had this car. I actually thought the tire pressure sensor didn't work. I was like, oh, it must be broken because it's never worked. And that thing lit up. I was like, God told me something today. Go ahead and judge and laugh at people if you want to. That's gonna be your behind. And it was a humbling moment. Not humbling. That thing that I hate people.
That's the real church you
humbling. There's an H on that word. That's not silent. That H is there for a reason. Humbling, not humbling.
We insert consonants that are not there and remove ones that are there.
We come humbly before. No, I don't come humbly before nobody. That's not a word. I'm sorry, but yeah. People, Donna Abdul, I can make it 2 to 3 days with low pressure tire light. No, you're not supposed to. That low pressure tire light comes on. Make sure you get up and take care of that before you pop your tires in this cold. But that's all I have for the people today. Just a little humbling in my spirit. Madam, Timmy, do you have a take for the people?
My take is invest in some self-care. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm real disappointed. My child goes to preschool.
Okay.
And the rule at this preschool, and I'm not going to cry, is that if anyone in the class is test positive,
right,
then the whole class, anybody who is exposed to that person, has to self-quarantine for 14 days. And it has happened to us. So tomorrow, I'll be getting up at 7, but I can't go drop my baby off at the preschool because let's be very clear, he's not the person. He's not patient zero, but he has been exposed to someone. So the rule automatically, according to contact tracing and PA Department of Health, he's home with us for 14 days. What sucks about this is that we said, you know what? We trust Dr. Fauci. We trust the CDC. We're purposefully not going to travel. We purposefully didn't travel because the school was like, if you travel anywhere out of state, you got to self-quarantine 14 days. We didn't travel. We stayed home. and we still gotta.
You still got caught.
Because little Billy's family travel, or little
That
Susie's.
stinks. Hey,
So I would just say, y'all, we are not through. I have corona fatigue. Okay. I am so over this. I am so tired of this. I am so tired of I keep looking around at my house, which I only have for 2 years. I want to tear it down and start over. That's how frustrated I am. So just take care of yourself. I'm going to figure out some real good ways. I have to redo my whole schedule for the next 2 weeks.
wow.
I'm going to find some ways to take care of myself and do some nice things for myself, because it's about to be real up in here.
Real.
So just remember, we're not done with this. Be kind to yourself and be kind to your neighbors.
Can you get Mac on the screen real quick? Mac has a very solid question.
No, I didn't have time. Mac, I literally found this out today. I have not had time to do that. Trust.
I got a ball of the salted for you.
Trust.
If you need it.
That is on my list.
Maybe you should take up video games or something to calm your nerves.
Yeah.
No, I've been working out. I got a go-to ball. But it's a lot.
Here's the thing. I know her son, Young Ro. That's what I call the brother, Young Ro. He's a good dude. Because you would think there are other kids out there who are actually badly behaved, that their parents, you got to think of it in levels. Like, you actually got a good kid.
Yeah.
He's just high energy sometimes.
Yes.
And the problem is he's incredibly intelligent because his parents are incredibly intelligent. And I can see that being a lot at times.
It is a lot.
It is.
He's
going to ask a lot of questions.
You
can't trick him like little kids.
And he thinks if he says "how about" in front of anything, then it's okay. He'd be like, "How about chocolate milk?"
Yo, I love Ro.
How about you get my toys?
That's hilarious.
How about go that way?
Brother.
So, we just, y'all, I'm just saying, y'all, it is what it is. You can have, and it doesn't mean that I'm not going to lose it. I'm just saying today, I honestly thought about other people who are struggling, people whose kids ain't been at school all year or since March. So, I mean, just,
check on your people.
Yeah, check on your people and be good to do something good for yourself.
Right.
Just do something nice for yourself.
Cliff, I need to I got one more. It's a quick rant. It's not even a rant, it's another admission, really. Actually, I can say I'm gonna save this one for next week. I'm gonna save this one for next week. Yeah, I got it written down. I'm good.
What Max said. That's funny.
What?
He said, start playing Call of Duty 1 hour a day. I'm not sure what that would make me, but it just shooting.
To release stress. It just
release stress.
This is a good idea. That's a good idea.
There are actually people doing PhD papers on video games as therapy right now. I'm about to get really nerdy.
Oh, yeah. That's been a while. I mean, that's been on.
Mm-hmm. It's really good work that they're doing out there. But yeah. Hey, brother, do you have anything for the people? Do you have a take for the people?
I'm good.
Yo, Cliff is going to leave us and go become part of Kanye's admissions policy.
No, I'm not.
Yes, he is. Cliff is going to be an academic advisor at
Cliff
Kanye.
doing that.
Cliff would definitely be there.
Cliff.
Cliff would be the Kanye interpreter. What Mr. West meant when he said that.
I would need a
big and he's going to bring Kanye up here and bring it down for the people to access it. And he's going to try to keep it the same.
He just did it. You just did it.
He literally just did it.
Explained the whole concept to me, and it made way more sense in 10 seconds than what Kanye did in a minute.
What's interesting is Kanye didn't say any of the stuff Cliff said.
No.
But he didn't say a word of what Cliff said. But the interpretation is not 100% wrong. Like, I can understand how he got there, and it made sense.
Exactly.
He didn't say
the brother just trying to do something different, trying to step his game.
He ain't say a word. Yo, you Kanye press secretary. That's hilarious.
No, thank you.
Yes. No, hey, you know what kind of money that may pay?
No,
I'm just saying.
The brother, he's a nice brother, but he clearly is dealing with things mentally. And I don't need to be able to work for nobody like that who's mentally unstable. No, thank you.
I think a lot of us do.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't need to work for anybody else who's mentally unstable. All right, y'all. We do this show every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern right here on Facebook or YouTube. If you have not already done so, make sure you like our page or our YouTube page so you get notification every time we go live. We appreciate all those of you that hang with us live. If you can't, you can catch us on demand. You go to turntoyourneighbor.com for all the different ways you can watch on demand or listen on demand through the podcast, however you choose to. We appreciate all of you that have taken some time to hang with us tonight or today or however, whenever you're listening. We appreciate the time. Thanks for hanging with us, y'all. All right, y'all good?
I'm good. I got nothing.
All right. Okay, y'all. Thanks a lot for watching and listening. Until next time, take care and be blessed. Peace.